In the next 2 weeks, while we're looking at Oklahoma native plants, we'll discuss a lot while we're discussing the plants about the Oklahoma plant culture conditions. Plants in Oklahoma are in for a rough ride a lot of the times. We have, as far as temperature, we have a huge range of temperature. We can go from extremely hot to extremely cold. The duration of the heat is actually more severe than the duration of the cold. The timing of the cold sometimes is key. Last spring, in spring of 2014, we lost a lot of plants that normally can handle the cold temperatures, but the timing of the very late severe freezes had taken those plants who were getting ready to come out of their dormancy for the springtime, just caught them at the wrong time. Moisture, we have a wide range of moisture. You'll see on the Oklahoma climate page that we'll have a reference to from the west side of Oklahoma to the east side of Oklahoma. Long-term, just huge ranges in the amount of moisture that's available. And then in one particular area, you could have a great range just from year to year, which I think we've seen even just in our locale just the last couple of years. Soils are a huge factor in Oklahoma. There's quite a range of pH. We may have soils with a slightly acidic pH in one area, which are very beneficial to a lot of different plants, and then a more alkaline pH, which is more difficult for some plants to deal with. Although we do have some plants that are very adapted to a high pH, they are lesser than or fewer than the ones that are adapted to a more acidic pH. And the actual soil texture will affect the drainage. If there's a lot of clay content, a lot of very small particles in the soil, the water doesn't drain through the soil quite as well, and then you'll have a lower oxygen content, which affects the growth potential and just the overall health of quite a few plants. And at the very end, we're going to refer to the OK Climate link, which is on the internet, and I have a link on D2L and also on this page, and also on Mesonet. This image that you see here is the American Horticulture Society plant heat zone map. We talk a lot about cold hardiness of plants, and cold hardiness is based on the average minimum temperature. The plant heat zone map is based on the number of days per year above 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's really about the duration of the heat. And what you see as we come through our part of the country, that we have from 90 to 120 days above 86 degrees for the high temperatures. As you go up into the northern parts of the country, you'll definitely have days that are above 86 degrees, but you won't have as many. So it's that long-term duration of heat that affects the plants that are more heat sensitive in our area. This affects some deciduous plants. It's really more critical in the conifers and the evergreens, but there are quite a few deciduous plants that just kind of languish in the long-term heat. For daily conditions, Mesonet is one of the best places to look for all different kinds of weather conditions. Climate is sort of weather over the long range. Your more temporary conditions you can see measured on Mesonet. You have the air temperature, the rainfall, wind. You also have soil conditions, so soil temperatures and soil moistures. So this is a great way to keep up with what's happening right now. It's mainly for agricultural crops, but if you're monitoring irrigation application in a landscape, you can get a lot of good information from Mesonet. And lastly, I have a link on this on D2L as well, but I'd like for you to take a look at the Oklahoma Climatological Survey. This is at climate.okc.gov, and then you can choose the Climate tab. This will give you long-term information that you can compare about the average rainfall, the average temperatures, and then the more current conditions that you can see in Oklahoma. And if you take a look at that, read through the temperatures, the moisture and rainfall data and descriptions for Oklahoma, you can get a really good idea of the challenges that some of the plant material face in Oklahoma. That's really why it's so important to work with the plants that are much more adapted to our regional conditions here.